Hi everyone, I'm just checking in after 2 weeks following the ketogenic diet. I thought I'd just go through what I was really pleased about this week and what I could improve in the future, and then share my results and what's coming up next week. So the things that I did really well that I was really happy with was drinking water. I'm getting through over 3 litres a day. Aiming for more like 4.5, but that I'm drinking about 3 litres at work, and then different, a cup here and there sort of around work. And that's not all the fluids, I'm not including coffees or anything like that. So that's been making me feel pretty good, and making my skin a bit clearer. I went to a family reunion on Friday. Just a small one from my husband's family, and at Tongan events you're just handed a plate of food and a cup of the sort of powdered sugary drinks mixed with water, so that I refused the plate of food and managed to get through that without anything, and without drinking the sugary stuff, and just got some water on the way home. But I was really lucky my husband let me know that there wasn't going to be anything that I could eat as part of the plate, so they had sort of a noodle dish and breaded or battered sort of fish and that kind of stuff, so that I was able to prepare dinner before heading to this event, and able to say no. And my mother-in-law didn't die because I wasn't eating or anything like that, so that I'm hopeful that they understand and can be supportive of me not eating, even though I had to refuse things like, probably about 8 times, like, because different people would notice that I didn't have a plate and try to give me one. But it worked out really well. So that was really good, to make me think I can get through some of these family events without compromising my diet, is perfect. I also been really enjoying using a glucometer to check my blood levels. So I got my family to bring one over in August, and it checks both your glucose and the ketone levels in your blood. And that I've been really enjoying watching that climb, the ketone levels climb. So the highest last week, even though I felt like I was a little bit more strict and adhering to the diet, the highest was 1.4. So anything over 0.2 is apparently nutritional ketosis, but anything over 1.5, between 1.5 and 3, is the optimal range for the ketogenic lifestyle. So that, my highest last week was 1.4. But then my highest this week was 1.9, so I got into that optimal level, and was really excited to see that. And that glucose has remained really low, which is what you'd expect to see, if not getting a little bit lower, so normally about 4.4 in the morning. So that's, all tracking how it should, and I just really enjoy being able to see that my blood reflects what's supposed to be happening when following this lifestyle, and maybe that I'm getting closer to adapting to the keto way of living if my ketones keep climbing and, consistently at those good levels. I've been tracking really well in my fitness pal, so that I've been pretty impressed, because I have trouble sticking with things in general, including things like my fitness pal and stuff, that I just get bored of putting everything in, and it all gets too hard when you're guessing if you eat out or something like that. But I've been really enjoying that you can see the breakdown of the macros in percentages really quickly by doing that. So I've been tracking really well there, I feel, and trying to sort of err on the side of caution, adding more rather than less and that sort of thing, and being really happy with that. The things I could improve on is still social situations where everybody else is drinking or eating all the finger food and stuff, and just being self-conscious about drawing attention by not having what everybody else has and stuff. So that can be a problem for me, I found. So that this week it was a Halloween party that from last week that I had planned to drink there, and that was okay, but during the week I was really excited to see my ketones climb to 1.9, that I didn't really want to derail that, so that I thought that I wouldn't drink. And then I refused the first drink when I was there, and I ended up just drinking like normal, and because people just keep offering you a drink realising that your hand's empty, and that was partly my fault that I ran out of time to get ready, so I hadn't brought my low carb stuff that I could have had, and without feeling guilty, and so I ended up just drinking beers and all the stuff that everybody else was drinking. But surprisingly, my ketones are only down to 0.9 this morning, which I thought it would be a lot worse. But yeah, I think I've gotten away with it, and I'm really lucky about that. But I'm planning to obviously get back on the straight and narrow this week, and sometimes my body has a delayed reaction, so maybe next week the scales will show my where I went wrong, but we'll see. And I'm okay with the occasional event, that you have to make this into a lifestyle. Normally I would mess up on a diet and think, oh well, if it's not perfect then I may as well pack it all in, which I know is stupid, but that's just the way it tended to be. So I'm trying to be okay with the occasional slip up, because I'm in it for the long haul to try and lose a huge amount of weight, which will take time, and there will be sort of stalls along the way, so that's it's not too bad. So that there was some cheating there, but yeah, wasn't extreme, and I certainly had less than I would have had as far as finger food and stuff like that. I was certainly a lot more controlled than I would have been. It's often a weakness of mine, the sort of chips and dip and stuff like that. I think my macros are pretty good, and obviously been working for me, but that I realised about Friday that I wasn't including enough protein, so that I was conscious of the gluconeogenesis and not having too much protein, but realising that I wasn't having quite enough, so that's something I'm going to try and work on this week and get the macros better. But until they stop working for me, then it's obviously better than nothing, and it's something that I'll slowly get more and more used to, and it'll become second nature and stuff like that. So my results, last week I was 115.3 kilos, and this week I was 114.4. Sorry, the dogs they run along the fence just barking at each other really viciously, and so it's not as scary as it sounds, but they're very noisy. But yeah, so that's a loss of 0.9 kilos, or 1.98 pounds. And I was really surprised about that, having had quite a bit to drink and stuff yesterday that was off plan. So yeah, really lucky about that. So that's a total loss of 5.2 kilos in the last 2 weeks, which is pretty incredible, or 11.5 pounds. So next week I do have another event where I think I will be drinking again. That's on Tuesday, Melbourne Cup event here that friends of us have shouted us tickets, and so I can't not go. I sort of tried to avoid it, but now that I'm going, I think, if I'm honest with myself, which is something I often aim really high and then fail kind of thing, but if I'm honest with myself, I will be drinking along with them on Tuesday, and I'm just going to try and make it that the only day that I don't stick to what I'm planning to, or stick to my macros and stuff. So I'll try and keep the rest of the week really tidy, and hopefully it won't reflect too badly on the scales, although perhaps I could have had a bigger loss if I didn't have the occasional event like that. It's just a busy time socially at the moment, but it's not normal, so I know most of the time I'll be able to keep everything under control, whereas this next couple of weeks there'll be a couple of things to get through, but that's okay as well. So I'll share my weigh-in and measurements videos, and the actual measurements. That's one thing, is that a couple of measurements were up, and that could be a result of yesterday's indulgences, just putting an extra bit of fluid around, so it was around my chest and around my waist was up, and that my hips were the same and stuff, but it also could be quite close to that time of the month as well, so I just don't know at this stage what caused that, but I'm okay. Things are still going in the right direction and overall, and that's the main thing. So have a good week, everyone, and here's the measurement videos and stuff.